In the glamorous world of fashion and beauty, the relationship between artists and brands has always been seen as a power marriage, where both sides amplify each other's value and influence. Yet, the case of Jennie, BLACKPINK, and IICOMBINED, the parent company behind Jingle Monster, Tamburins, IICOMBINED, and Untold, reveals a different scenario, an official departure, but with lingering ties that defy easy explanation. When the contract ends, but the story doesn't. Jennie was once closely tied to Jingle Monster, the luxury eyewear label that helped solidify her status as a global IT girl. When her contract officially ended, many assumed she had parted ways completely with the IICOMBINED empire. However, her unexpected appearance at Tamburins' new headquarters, Haus Nowhere Seoul, on September 23 shocked fans and the industry alike. This sudden re-emergence not only puzzled the global fan community but also sparked speculation: had Jennie truly left, or did she maintain a special bond with the group after all? A cinematic visual, an aesthetic statement. In the photos posted by Tamburins, Jennie stunned with a concept reminiscent of classic European cinema. Her all-black outfit, a high-neck blazer cinched at the waist, layered tiered skirt, and tall boots, radiated both power and femininity. Adding to this, her softly waved hair, smoky eye makeup, and nude lips struck the perfect balance between sharpness and elegance. Rather than simply appearing as a brand guest, Jennie projected the aura of a cinematic icon. Behind her, enormous mechanical sculptures in a futuristic setting created a striking contrast to her vintage-inspired look. This juxtaposition embodied the sensation of drifting into an endless aesthetic journey, the very narrative Tamburins sought to deliver. The silence that speaks volumes. While the photo set quickly went viral, garnering global attention, the focus was not only on Jennie's flawless visuals. The real intrigue came from Tamburins' ambiguous messaging. In its official caption, the brand avoided mentioning Jennie's role, even though she had been a star ambassador in the past. Instead, they framed her visit as a poetic stroll, wrapped in lofty language about a timeless aesthetic journey and the awakening of one's inner self. Meanwhile, in its latest campaign, Felix, Stray Kids, had been confirmed as the new face of Tamburins. This raised further questions: why did Jennie appear in this liminal space, no longer official, but not entirely disconnected either? A strange absence at a major event. Jennie's presence at Tamburins' headquarters became even more puzzling when contrasted with recent events. At the grand opening of Haus Nowhere Seoul, IICOMBINED assembled a star-studded lineup: Bayan Wooseok, Karina, aespa, Felix, Stray Kids, along with global names like Greg Shu, Kentaro Sakaguchi, and Kai Yukin. Yet, Jennie, once the face most associated with the group's brands, was entirely absent. Was her absence a sign of a clean break, making her recent visit a mere gesture of goodwill? Or, conversely, does she still hold a unique role with the group, one deliberately kept under wraps for long-term strategic reasons? Jennie as more than a brand ambassador. What sets Jennie's case apart is that her role seems to transcend the traditional boundaries of brand ambassadorship. For most stars, appearing at IICOMBINED events reinforces the brand's prestige. But with Jennie, it is her very presence that creates an independent story, one powerful enough to stand alone and captivate audiences. In other words, Jennie is no longer simply a face of a brand. She herself has become a brand. Whether or not she holds an official title, Jennie continues to stir curiosity, spark debate, and generate massive publicity. A two-way street: who benefits more? This leads to a thought-provoking question: who is leveraging whom? Tamburins undeniably benefits from Jennie's global reach. Yet Jennie also takes advantage of Tamburins' artistic, avant-garde setting to reinforce her image as an ever-evolving IT girl. The ambiguity may in fact be the strategy. By avoiding fixed ties with any single brand while maintaining visible connections, Jennie ensures that public intrigue never fades. She operates in the liminal space of being both inside and outside, a position that keeps the world watching. Conclusion: an unspoken contract in fashion. The Jennie Tamburins/IICOMBINED story is not merely about commercial contracts. It reveals how top-tier star like Jennie navigates her personal brand, never bound, never fully detached. In the fashion world, ambiguity often wields more power than certainty. Jennie has proven that even without an official ambassador title, she can turn a casual visit into a global spectacle. Perhaps this is the ultimate affirmation of her IT girl supremacy, a symbol of freedom, mystery, and magnetic allure. In the ever-evolving nexus of K-pop and luxury fashion, few figures embody influence as seamlessly as Jennie of BLACKPINK. She is not merely an ambassador, she is an institution in herself. Yet, her relationship with IICOMBINED, the powerhouse behind Gentle Monster, Tamburins, IICOMBINED, and Untold, has recently slipped into a perplexing gray zone. The official break, and the unofficial return. When Jennie's contract with Gentle Monster came to an official end, many assumed the curtain had closed on her chapter with IICOMBINED. For years, she had been the face of the brand's bold, futuristic eyewear, helping Gentle Monster expand its reach far beyond Asia. Her exit seemed like the natural conclusion of a successful partnership. But just when the narrative appeared straightforward, Jennie re-emerged at Tamburins' new headquarters, Haus Nowhere Seoul, on September 23. This wasn't a red carpet appearance, nor campaign launch. Instead, Tamburins' Instagram posted a series of ethereal photos of Jennie touring the space, an unexpected twist that reignited global speculation. A visual story that speaks louder than labels. Jennie's appearance was styled like a scene from European cinema, a tailored high-neck blazer cinched at the waist, a tiered black skirt, and tall boots. With soft waves in her hair and smoky eyes balanced by nude lips, she radiated a paradox of sharpness and femininity. The backdrop, massive mechanical sculptures in a futuristic display, created a visual clash with Jennie's vintage-inspired look. This deliberate contrast embodied what Tamburins framed as an endless aesthetic journey, a phrase that now seems to apply not just to perfume, but to Jennie's own role in this story. Missing at the main event, present in the mystery. The timing is what confounds observers most. When Haus Nowhere Seoul officially opened, IICOMBINED rolled out an A-list guest list, by Wooseok, Karina, aespa, Felix, Stray Kids, and international stars like Greg Shu, Kentaro Sakaguchi, and Kai Yukin. Yet, Jennie, arguably their most recognizable former muse, was nowhere in sight. And yet, days later, there she was, front and center in Tamburins' own Instagram feed. Crucially, the caption made no mention of her as an ambassador. Instead, it read like a poetic meditation: Jennie steps into the timeless aesthetic journey Tamburins offers. A voyage into infinite beauty. The text romanticized her presence while skillfully avoiding any definition of her role. The ambiguity as strategy. So, is Jennie still tied to Tamburins and IICOMBINED, or was this merely a nostalgic cameo? The ambiguity itself may be the point. By sidestepping clarity, Tamburins gains the benefit of Jennie's star power without committing to a formal partnership. Meanwhile, Jennie leverages the brand's avant-garde space to reinforce her own narrative as a chameleon-like IT girl who resists categorization. In this dance of appearances, both sides walk away with global headlines, and millions of fans left speculating.